Celebrated actor Stanley Tucci's first major role of 2025 is in Netflix's flagship movie release, The Electric State. In the Netflix movie, Tucci plays Neurotech CEO Ethan Skate, whose company's inventions have created a drone army to subdue insurgent robot forces that have waged war on humanity. On the face of it, the role of a tech overlord seems right up Tucci's street and brings to mind his part master of ceremonies, Caesar Flickerman, in the dystopian Hunger Games movie franchise. Yet Tucci is involved in an even more exciting release coming later in 2025, directed by Guy Ritchie. The Electric State has divided critics and audiences since its release, with Rotten Tomatoes reflecting how much more general viewers are enjoying the movie than film reviewers. With the jury still out on whether the project is worth the $320 million that Netflix spent making it, Stanley Tucci fans might want to shift their attention to Guy Ritchie's upcoming movie, Fountain of Youth, which stars the Electric State and Hunger Games actor alongside an all-star action thriller cast. Guy Ritchie's Fountain of Youth is Stanley Tucci's most exciting movie of 2025. Ritchie's upcoming adventure movie marks his return to the heist genre with a stellar cast alongside Tucci. Fountain of Youth is Guy Ritchie's first movie in his specialist heist genre since 2021's Wrath of Man, and he's brought out the big guns for this one. As well as Tucci in a supporting role, Fountain of Youth will feature John Krasinski and Natalie Portman as its two leads, a brother and sister in search of the mythical fountain of the movie's title. Although this mythological element to its plot suggests that it belongs in the fantasy genre alongside Ritchie's 2017 movie King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, the director has instead compared Fountain of Youth to Indiana Jones. We can certainly expect Krasinski and Portman's characters, Luke and Charlotte Purdue, to be heading off on an adventure quest, but not in the fantastical sense. This should be a nuts-and-bolts Guy Ritchie thriller, as the director leans into what he does best. Stanley Tucci's highest-budget project of 2025 might be The Electric State, but it's Fountain of Youth that we should be most excited about. Fountain of Youth can make up for the disappointment of The Electric State. The Electric State has received poor reviews, while its stay at the top of Netflix's charts might not last. The Electric State might be number one on Netflix's global streaming charts, but it's unclear how long the sci-fi action movie is going to stay there. It's been panned by critics, and even its 74% audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes isn't a vote of confidence to suggest that it's going to be one of 2025's biggest hits. Reviews of The Electric State have been a major disappointment, given that it was one of Netflix's most hyped releases of the year, as well as the most expensive standalone movie ever made specifically for streaming. On the other hand, Fountain of Youth is highly likely to be a major success when it's released on Apple TV Plus later this year. The combination of Ritchie's return to the heist genre, an adventure story specialist writing the script, and a superb ensemble cast means that the movie is the closest thing a streaming platform can have to a surefire success in 2025. Stanley Tucci might not be enjoying the reviews of The Electric State, but he can look forward to Fountain of Youth's critical reception in the coming months. Why Fountain of Youth is such a highly anticipated project for Guy Ritchie. The Apple TV Plus movie has an original screenplay by James Vanderbilt. As well as being helmed by British heist movie specialist Guy Ritchie, Fountain of Youth is an original work penned by Amazing Spider-Man and Scream reboot screenwriter James Vanderbilt. We should expect the movie to be full of fun, thrills, and biting wit, which is exactly what the likes of John Krasinski and Stanley Tucci were signed up for. In addition, the movie will star Ash and three-body problem actor Isa Gonzalez, who previously worked with Ritchie on his last movie, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, as well as Star Wars cast member Domhnall Gleeson. It's worth noting that Guy Ritchie's two most recent feature-length efforts have been well received, with his 2023 movie, The Covenant, being highly acclaimed before the solid critical reception The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare received. Neither of these movies quite had the firepower in Fountain of Youth's cast, meaning that Ritchie's upcoming release is even more anticipated. Anyone disappointed by the electric state should switch over to Apple TV Plus later in 2025 for another Stanley Tucci role that looks destined for success. Thanks for watching.